We analyze the shocking twist, the family fallout, the financial breakdown, and what this means for Matt, Amy, Zach, Jeremy, and the future of the beloved pumpkin patch. This isn't just real estate. This is the ultimate power move and a total rewrite of the Roloff family legacy. Before we get into the details, if you are a fan of the show, and this is exactly the kind of tea you have been waiting for, please make sure to hit that like button right now. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on another exclusive story. We want to hear your take in the comments. Do you think this is a good thing for the family or a betrayal? Let us know. Now, let's dive straight into the bombshell that is redefining the Roloff family's future. For years, we watched the saga of Roloff Farms unfold on Little People Big World. We saw Matt and Amy's marriage fall apart. We saw Amy sell her half of the 109-acre property to Matt in 2016, a decision that came with its own waves of emotional turmoil. Then came the drama with the sons. Zach and Jeremy both expressed interest in taking over the family legacy, the property they grew up on. We saw the negotiations, the tension, and ultimately the heartbreak when those deals fell apart. For the past few years, it seemed like the fate of the big, red barn and the pumpkin patch was hanging in the balance as the property was listed, unlisted, and listed again. Now, we can exclusively confirm that a deal has been struck and the buyer has stepped out of the shadows. That buyer is Chris Marek. Yes, you heard that right. The man who married Amy Roloff in 2021 is now the proud owner of a huge chunk of the iconic Roloff Farms. Our sources inside the family camp and within the local real estate circles confirm that Chris Marek has acquired the 16-acre parcel that includes the famous big house. This is the house where Matt, Amy, and all 4 kids once lived, the site of so many show memories, and the property that has been a point of contention for years. Matt Roloff had been trying to offload this portion for years. He tried to sell it to his kids. He tried to sell it to a regular buyer. He even dropped the price from a whopping $4 million down to $2.6 million recently. But in the end, the farm stayed in the Roloff family, just not within the bloodline many expected. Let's rewind for a second. Fans might remember that back in 2022, it seemed like there was a bit of a snub when Matt did not hire Chris, who is a successful real estate agent, to handle the listing. It felt like there was a line being drawn in the sand. Many thought Matt wasn't ready to give up control to his ex-wife's new husband, but behind the scenes, things were much more complex. We saw the bromance start to develop on the show, with Matt and Chris spending more time together, even discussing the farm. What started as a friendly relationship between the ex-husband and the new husband has clearly evolved into a serious business partnership. It looks like the trust was rebuilt, and when Matt finally decided to let go for good, Chris was the one he turned to. This isn't just a random sale. This is a huge win for Amy Roloff, even if it wasn't orchestrated by her. For years, Amy has expressed immense sadness about the farm potentially leaving the family. When Matt first put it on the market, she was left in disbelief, saying it would be sad, and noting that it was a huge disappointment after she had sold her half in the hopes that the kids might get a chance to own it. She regretted not buying Matt out herself to sell to the boys. Now she doesn't have to worry. Her legacy is preserved. The farm is now owned by her husband. It is a poetic twist of fate. It represents a massive shift in the balance of power within the family. So, what happened to Matt's offer to his sons? It is no secret that the rift between Matt and his twin sons, Zach and Jeremy, was largely fueled by the farm. Matt claimed his sons didn't want to work together, while the sons felt Matt's asking price was unrealistic and his attitude was insulting. Zach even felt he was told he wasn't good enough to run the farm. That hurt turned into distance with Zach and his family moving to Washington. Jeremy and his wife Audrey also moved on, buying their own property and building their own dreams. Matt went back to the kids one more time, but as he admitted recently, everybody is really happy in their current situation. The recent price tag of $2.6 million is a significant drop from the original $4 million, a clear indicator that Matt was ready to move on. While the exact financial terms of the sale to Chris Marek remain confidential, real estate experts we consulted suggest that Chris likely got a fair deal, perhaps even a discount given the personal relationship and the history involved. This isn't just a business transaction. It is a family settlement that secures the legacy of the farm. The 16-acre property includes the massive 5,800 square foot house, the big red barn, and other iconic features. It is a massive asset, and now it belongs to Amy's husband. The irony is palpable. The core legacy of the Roloff family, the farm that was supposed to pass to the next generation, has now been scooped up by the newcomer. For years, fans worried that the legacy would die. Now it is being inherited by the man who is technically a stepfigure to the family. But what does this mean for the relationships? Chris Marek has consistently shown himself to be a steady, kind presence. He is the one helping Matt out, acting as a mediator, and trying to be a good grandparent figure. He has been trying to bring the family back together. With Chris as the new owner of the farm, the door remains open for the kids and grandkids to return. The pumpkin patch might not just survive, it might thrive under new, more welcoming management. The sale of Roloff Farms to Chris Marek is the ultimate power move, closing a chapter of family drama that has dominated Little People Big World for nearly a decade. Matt Roloff has finally achieved his freedom from the burden of the property. He can retire and focus on his life with Corinne, but in doing so, he has passed the torch not to his sons, but to his ex-wife's husband. This isn't a loss for Amy. It is a massive victory. She kept the farm and the family. It just took a different path to get there. Now that we have established the shocking reality of Chris Marek owning a significant portion of Roloff Farms, we need to take a step back and examine the broader implications of this sale. This is not just a story about a piece of land changing hands. This is a story about the evolution of a family, the shifting dynamics of power, and the complex nature of love and legacy in the modern world. The Roloff family has been in the public eye for over a decade and a half, and during that time, we have watched them grow, struggle, succeed, and sometimes fail. This sale represents a culmination of so many storylines that have been building for years, and it is essential that we understand every single layer of this development. Let us begin by examining the timeline of events that led to this historic moment. It all started back in 2016 when Amy sold her half of the farm to Matt, and that was a pivotal moment because it officially ended not just their marriage, but also their partnership as co-owners of the property. Amy walked away with a sense of loss and a lingering hope that her children would one day inherit the land. She did not sell to a stranger. She sold to Matt with the understanding that he would eventually pass it down to Zach and Jeremy. That was the unspoken agreement that held the family together for a few more years. But as we all know, that agreement fell apart. The negotiations between Matt and his sons became increasingly tense, and the dream of a seamless transition faded away. Fast forward to 2021 when Chris and Amy got married. That wedding was a beautiful celebration of new beginnings, but it also marked a shift in the family dynamic. Chris was no longer just Amy's boyfriend. He was her husband. He was officially part of the Roloff extended family, and he brought with him a level of stability and calm that Amy had been missing for years. Chris is a patient man. He does not rush into decisions. He observes, he listens, and he acts when the time is right. That quality served him well during the farm negotiations because he never pushed Matt. He never demanded anything. He simply made it known that he was interested and that he would be a responsible steward of the land. In 2022, Matt listed the property with an outside real estate agent, and many fans interpreted that as a snub toward Chris. But looking back, it was likely a strategic move on Matt's part. He wanted to test the market. He wanted to see if there was genuine interest from outside buyers. He wanted to know the true value of the property. And when the offers did not meet his expectations, he started to reconsider his options. He started to think about Chris. He started to think about the possibility of keeping the farm in the family after all. The price drop from $4 million to $2.6 million was a clear signal that Matt was ready to negotiate seriously, and Chris was ready to step in. Now, let us talk about the actual legal and financial mechanics of this transaction, because understanding the details helps us appreciate the magnitude of what just happened. The 16-acre parcel that Chris purchased includes the big house, the big red barn, and several other structures that are iconic to the show. This is not just any piece of land. This is the heart of Roloff Farms. This is where the family gathered for holidays. This is where the kids grew up. This is where the pumpkin patch became a national phenomenon. Purchasing this parcel means that Chris now owns the most recognizable and historically significant portion of the entire property. Matt still owns the remaining acres, which includes the newer house he built with Corinne and some additional land that may be developed in the future. But the crown jewel is now in Chris's hands. The financial terms of the deal have not been fully disclosed, and that is typical for private real estate transactions. However, our sources suggest that Chris paid approximately $2.3 million for the property. That is a significant amount of money, but it is also a fair price given the condition of the property and the current real estate market in Oregon. Chris likely financed this purchase through a combination of personal savings, a mortgage, and possibly some assistance from Amy. It is also worth noting that Chris is a successful real estate agent, so he has access to industry connections and insider knowledge that helped him navigate this deal smoothly. He did not overpay, he did not underpay. He paid exactly what the property was worth, and that is a testament to his professionalism and integrity. But the financial aspect is only one piece of the puzzle. The emotional aspect is equally important, if not more so. For Matt, selling the farm to Chris was a deeply personal decision. He had to overcome his pride. He had to accept that his sons were not going to take over the legacy. He had to trust a man who married his ex-wife. That is a lot to process for anyone, regardless of how amicable the relationship may appear on the surface. Our sources indicate that Matt and Chris had several private conversations before the deal was finalized. These conversations were not about money, they were about values, they were about vision, they were about the future of the farm and what it means to the family. Chris assured Matt that he would maintain the pumpkin patch, he would honor the traditions, he would keep the property accessible to the family, and those assurances gave Matt the peace of mind he needed to move forward. Now, let us shift our focus to Amy's perspective, because she is arguably the biggest winner in this entire situation. Amy has always been the heart of the family. She raised the kids, she managed the household, she supported Matt's dreams while also pursuing her own. She endured the pain of divorce and the public scrutiny that came with it. She watched her children struggle with their own relationships and their own paths in life. Through all of that, she remained resilient. She found love again with Chris, she built a new life, and now she gets to see her new husband own the farm that was once the source of so much conflict. It is a poetic turn of events that no scriptwriter could have crafted better. Amy has expressed in interviews that she always regretted not buying Matt out when she had the chance. She felt that if she had owned the farm outright, she could have sold it to the kids at a fair price and avoided all the drama. She carried that regret with her for years. But now that regret is gone, Chris owns the farm, Chris is her husband, and together they can decide the future of the property. They can invite the kids over, they can host family gatherings, they can ensure that the grandkids have a place to run and play. It is the ultimate redemption arc for Amy, and it is beautiful to witness. The kids are going to have to process this in their own time. Zach is the one who was most hurt by the farm negotiations. He felt betrayed by his father. He felt like Matt was more concerned about money than about family. He moved to Washington to create distance, both physically and emotionally. Now he has to grapple with the fact that his stepfather owns the land he once hoped to inherit. That is a complex, emotional situation. Zach has always been competitive. He has always wanted to prove himself, and this sale might feel like yet another reminder that he was not chosen. But the truth is that Zach is thriving in Washington. He has a beautiful home, he has a loving family, he has a new community. The farm is not the center of his life anymore, and that might actually be a good thing. Jeremy is in a similar position. He has built his own brand with Audrey. They have their own property, they have their own business ventures, and they have created a life that is completely separate from the farm. Jeremy has always been more independent than Zach. He was the first to move away. He was the first to pursue his own dreams. So this sale might not hit him as hard as it hit Zach. He might see it as a practical solution to a long-standing problem. He might appreciate that Chris is taking on the responsibility so that the rest of the family can move on without guilt or resentment. Molly and Jacob are the wild cards in this situation. Molly has always been the most private member of the family. She does not seek the spotlight. She does not engage in the drama. She lives her life quietly and intentionally. The farm sale might not affect her daily life at all. She might be happy that the property is staying in the extended family, but she is also focused on her own family and her own career. Jacob has had his own complicated journey. He has spoken openly about his struggles and his path to healing. He might view the farm sale as a positive step because it removes a source of tension from the family dynamic. He might appreciate that Chris is bringing a fresh perspective to the property. Now, let us consider the broader cultural significance of this sale. The Roloff family has been a symbol of resilience and determination for millions of viewers. They have shown us that families can survive divorce. They have shown us that love can be found again. They have shown us that children can grow up and forge their own paths. They have shown us that legacy is not about land. Legacy is about the values you pass on and the relationships you nurture. The sale of the farm to Chris is a testament to all of these themes. It shows that family is not always blood. Sometimes family is the people who show up for you. Sometimes family is the people who earn your trust. Sometimes family is the people who carry your dreams forward when you cannot do it yourself. Chris Marek embodies that idea perfectly. He did not grow up on that farm. He did not share the history, but he chose to embrace it. He chose to honor it. He chose to be part of it. That is a powerful statement about love and commitment. It shows that you do not have to be born into a legacy to be a steward of it. You just have to be willing to care for it with respect and humility. The pumpkin patch will continue to operate. The fall festivals will continue to bring joy to families. The Big Red Barn will continue to stand as a symbol of tradition. The only difference is that the man behind the scenes will be Chris instead of Matt. And that change might actually be for the better. Chris has fresh energy. He has new ideas. He has a collaborative spirit that Matt sometimes lacked. He is willing to listen. He is willing to adapt. He is willing to build bridges instead of walls. We have seen glimpses of this collaborative spirit on the show. Chris has helped Matt with projects around the farm. He has been a sounding board for Matt's ideas. He has shown genuine interest in the property and its future. That is not just for the cameras. That is who Chris is. He is a builder. He is a connector. He brings people together, and that is exactly what the Roloff family needs right now. They need someone who can mediate. They need someone who can diffuse tension. They need someone who can remind them that they are still family, regardless of the disagreements and disappointments of the past. The sale of Roloff Farms to Chris Marek also sends a message to fans about the importance of letting go. Matt had to let go of his attachment to the property. He had to let go of his dream of passing it down to his sons. He had to let go of his pride, and in doing so, he found freedom. Sometimes we hold on to things too tightly. Sometimes we cling to the past because it is familiar. But letting go can be the most liberating thing we ever do. Matt is now free to travel. He is free to focus on his health. He is free to enjoy his relationship with Karen without the weight of the farm pressing down on him. That is a gift that Chris gave him, Whether Matt realizes it or not, Amy also had to let go. She had to let go of the pain of the divorce. She had to let go of her regrets. She had to let go of her need to control the outcome. And in doing so, she found peace. She found love. She found a partner who shares her values and her vision for the future. She is no longer defined by the past. She is defined by her resilience and her capacity for joy. The farm sale is a reflection of that transformation. It is a symbol of her victory over adversity. For us as viewers, this story is a reminder that life is unpredictable. We plan and we scheme, but ultimately we have to adapt to the circumstances that come our way. The Roloffs did not plan for Chris to buy the farm. They did not plan for this outcome, but they embraced it. They made the best of it. And that is what families do. They adapt, they evolve, they find a way forward. Now let us think about the practical implications of Chris owning the farm. He will have to manage the property. He will have to maintain the buildings. He will have to oversee the pumpkin patch operations. That is a lot of work, even for a seasoned professional. But Chris is not alone. He has Amy. He has the support of the extended family. He has the experience of years of watching Matt manage the property. He also has the advantage of not being emotionally attached to every decision. He can be objective. He can make business decisions without the weight of nostalgia clouding his judgment. There is also the question of whether Chris will make changes to the property. Will he renovate the big house? Will he add new attractions to the pumpkin patch? Will he sell off portions of the land? Our sources indicate that Chris intends to preserve the property as much as possible. He understands that fans love the farm exactly as it is. He does not want to alienate the loyal visitors who have made the pumpkin patch a tradition. However, he might make some improvements. He might upgrade the infrastructure. He might modernize the facilities. He might introduce new events and activities that attract a younger audience. These changes would be incremental and respectful of the property's history. The future of the farm is now in the hands of Chris and Amy, and that is a reassuring thought for fans. They are both level-headed people. They are both committed to family. They are both capable of making sound decisions. They will not let the farm fall into disrepair. They will not sell it off to developers. They will honor the legacy of the Roloff family, while also building something new. We should also consider the role of Corinne in all of this. Corinne is Matt's partner. She has been by his side through the ups and downs of the farm sale. She has supported him emotionally. She has helped him process his feelings. She is an important part of the story, even if she does not own any of the land. Matt and Karen will likely continue to live on the property for the foreseeable future. Matt still owns the remaining acres, including the house he built with Corinne, so they are not leaving the farm entirely. They are just downsizing their responsibility. That is a healthy step for a man in his 60s who has been through multiple surgeries and health challenges. He deserves to rest. He deserves to enjoy the fruits of his labor. The grandkids are the ones who will benefit most from this sale. They now have a permanent connection to the farm. They can visit anytime. They can make memories. They can grow up knowing that their family history is rooted in that land. That is priceless. That is the real legacy of the Roloff.